let's get this party started. So, Izzy, I know you're a very busy lady, so let's get started now. Can you tell the people watching, and I'm going to get rid of his hat because it's getting rather warm, what do you do for a business?
What do I do for business? Well, as the name says, productivity. I help people with their productivity, in particular with their personal productivity. So I stay away from time motion studies and that kind of thing. I keep that to the industry specialists. That's not what I do. It's all about personal productivity, how to get most out of your day, getting rid of distractions, procrastination, better planning, all that good stuff. So you can actually clock off in the evening and not look at stuff at the weekend and actually have time for yourself, for your family, for friends, the fun stuff in life.
Yeah. And is that, when you say for people, is that for individuals and businesses, or purely for business owners, or just normal people who are running a business? Who do you kind of...
I mostly help within businesses. So whether that's business owners like solopreneurs like myself, and I'm sort of half guessing like yourself as well. Unless you have a team, then I can help a team as well. I've currently got a larger client with 110 people, so we're doing 11 team sessions. So I sort of cap workshops at 10 people because I personalize them, and that everyone is going through the process and everyone's hopefully getting something out for them because they're getting questionnaires too. So I really know what's bugging them, what's stopping them from getting things done during the day.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's individuals as well as teams, both.
That sounds like a fantastic project that you're doing at the moment. 110 people. Good grief. All those personalities and difference of opinions, and oh my God, can't think of anything worse. So what inspired you to start this business? Why productivity? Why sorting people out? I mean, surely you've got enough to do yourself.
It's something I've got a little bit of a passion about. I am not a naturally organized person. I am pretty much procrastination central. So my name is Izzy and I'm a procrastinator. It's that kind of scenario.
It's like an AA meeting.
Yes, exactly. So, and because I have found ways of getting better at all this stuff, getting over the procrastination. I mean, I still do it, but I can get out of it pretty quickly.
Yes, yeah.
It's one of those. It's a bit like once you do it, you always do it, and probably almost everybody does it to a degree.
Yeah.
I have got more organized over the years. I have found ways and means and methods and tips and tricks and tools and whatever else, and if I can learn it, everybody can learn it. Yeah. And I'm a bit of a natural teacher at heart. I love teaching. I love spreading knowledge. Anything I know, I want others to know as well.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, why not do something that I'm really passionate about and help people with something I know a lot of people need help with.
Yeah.
And that's how it came about.
Yeah. I mean, procrastination, I mean, we all go through it. And anyone who says they don't, they're lying. But you're right. It's all about what do you do as a person to bring yourself out of that. And I think a lot of people do need that help. I mean, procrastination, someone said to me before, procrastination is just an excuse not to take action.
Sometimes it's really deep, though. Sometimes it's really deep-seated, and it's just, sometimes it is just an excuse. You're absolutely right. But it's the whole palette of from there to there. And
do you, I mean, because obviously I would imagine that there's a lot of mindset involved in that as well in terms of procrastination. Do you kind of delve deep into that side of things for people?
I try to. I mean, it depends how honest they are with me. But I give them the tools so they can do it for themselves as well. So they don't have to tell me why they're not doing something. I sort of say, look, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll probably in their own mind go, yeah, that's probably what's causing it. So, and I then have, so if it's this thing, this is the reason why I'm procrastinating, you can do this about it. And so on. And I go through all the options with them. So it sometimes depends on the thing we're procrastinating on. why we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's literally because it's bloody boring.
Yeah. I mean,
Sometimes it's, oh my God, this is so scary. I don't want to start it. So it's all the reasons.
Well, I suppose there's a difference between like volunteering for a bungee jump or finishing off some admin. I mean, there's two complete extremes there, isn't there?
Won't get me bungee jumping.
But even for charity, why not?
No, I'd rather jump out of a plane than bungee jump.
Oh, parachute jump.
I would do that.
I want to do a parachute jump, so we'll have a talk about that later. Maybe we'll do a sponsored one together. Oh, I've said it live. Everyone can hear it. Oh my God, my big mate. So how long have you had the business, Izzy? How long have you been productivity coach?
The productivity thing is relatively new. I picked the perfect time to start, just before lockdown.
Oh, great minds think.
Yeah, perfect timing. I thought, it's time to do something different. Why don't I start now? And start a business that relies on speaking and being with people and stuff. And and then, can't do that now. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to find a different way of doing it.
And to be fair, that leads me very nicely on to my next question: is what are the challenges that you have faced with the business? Because obviously, starting during crazy time, what were some of the challenges that you had to overcome?
Well, the original idea for the business was speaking mostly at events and creating workshops and that sort of thing, which relied on events.
Yeah.
And suddenly there weren't any. So I was like, okay, now what? And I basically had to turn my business idea on its head. So like I said, I thought I'll start with speaking and see what comes of that. So coaching might come as a result of that.
Yeah.
Because people might hear me speak and go, yeah, that sounds really good. She knows what she's talking about. I'll get some coaching from her or some company workshops or anything like that. So I had to turn it on its head and offer the coaching, which I can do over Zoom, and offer the workshops, which I can also do over Zoom up front. And I'm hoping that once this crazy stuff is over, I will get into speaking and I will be able to go to some cool conference in the Bahamas. That would be nice.
Cool. Tell me more about this Bahamas conference. Have you got your eye on one? Yeah.
You hear about all these amazing conferences in wonderful places on this planet, and I would love to do those. I mean, I don't want to just be stuck behind the camera. I want to go places and
all I'll say,
amazing venues and stuff. That's what I would like to do.
If you do go to the Bahamas, don't forget your friends.
Wait, do you want to come with?
I'll carry your bags if I ain't got to pay for the tickets.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
I'm sure I could do with a personal assistant. That'd be awesome.
So what were some of the other challenges that you faced?
Well, because I did something different beforehand, it was sort of convincing people I do know what I talk about, because I'd been doing this stuff for many years for myself and also for friends and family. So I've got some friends who always say, God, you're so organized, how do you do it? And like I say, I don't consider myself that organized because of where I came from, because I wasn't, and I have this perfect pretense of being organized because I know all the right things to do to be organized. In my head, it's a totally different ballgame.
No one can see inside your head. So that's all right.
Exactly.
That's a secret you can keep for yourself. Hey, Natasha Gordon, thank you for joining us, honey. Natasha, actually, I spoke to Natasha earlier and she says, productivity expert, time management. I need some of that. So she's tuned in and joined us. Tasha, if you've got any questions for Izzy, then feel free to send them through. Izzy, my favorite question, actually, is tell us one thing about you that not many people know about.
I guess that's not business related now.
Anything. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be too personal, but
yes,
it can be anything.
Okay. Well, I'm a black belt in karate. Not many people know that. Some people know that, but not many people know that. It's been quite a while since I did that, and I haven't done it for a little while now as well. But yeah, I did that got to black belt in a fairly quick time. I think it took me 2 years or so. Can't quite remember. Yeah. So I didn't even start super early in life. I started sort of in my late 30s and decided I want to do karate. It sounds fun. I want to do it. Turned up at the dojo and just went twice a week and just really enjoyed it. Got to black belt. Got an injury not through karate and unfortunately never went back. I do archery instead now, which is fun too.
Well, I was just about to say, are you for hire on weekends? For like, as like, you know, people are going out and need a little bit of protection. I mean, you know, how.
Thank you for looking at it that way. Thank you. Most people say, "Oh, I better not mess with you," and I'm always like, "No, I can protect you.
I can protect you." Oh, and the thing is, you would be like, you'd be so kind of like a secret bodyguard because like giving it all back. I mean, you come from nowhere and go, wow,
very tall. I am not very tall.
Fantastic. Well, that's amazing. I'm telling you, that is absolutely amazing. 2 years to become a black belt. I mean, that's some dedication.
I think it was about 2 years. Yeah, it might have been 3. It was two or 3. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it was fairly quick. I just every exam I took, I moved up the belt.
Yeah.
Every quarter I moved up the belt, and then it was sort of, I think the last 1 or 2 it took longer because it simply takes longer to move up.
Gotcha.
And I think it might have been 3 years. Whatever the minimum is, I did it in that. I never double braided.
You're a black belt. The only belt that I've got is a cotton one, which is white. So I know that you're doing well. That's fantastic. And wow, makes me feel really lazy actually. So I'm going to have to start getting back into the fitness regime, I think. So obviously, with you being a productivity coach, you know, there's a lot of people now who are starting businesses. They're gonna give their employee the sack. Say, right, I've had enough of you. What are the 3 main bits of advice you would give somebody around productivity when it relates to your business, when it relates to starting and growing your business?
Right. The first productivity tip I would give anybody, whether business or not, I think I'm going to start with that one. My top tip is turn notifications off. And that's in particular the email ones that ping in from the side, because they stop you focusing on anything.
Yeah.
Because you're doing some work, you're either on a call or you're even answering an email, somebody else's email, and this thing pings in, your attention goes to that. Oh, check what that is. Attention's gone, focus is gone, and you're on something else. And if you do that a few times, you've got 10 tabs open, nothing's finished at the end of the day, and you feel you've not achieved anything. So if I had any say in Microsoft for Outlook, I would abolish that feature completely. I would kill it. Like, right, guys, focus from now on. We don't need it. Because every now and again, you look in there anyway and see what's come in. But you do it on your terms. Tip number 1, and also all the social media notifications. We don't need to know that somebody liked the post. Let's be honest. Who cares?
That's vanity. Vanity is, someone liked me post, but did they give you any money?
I mean, yes, you want to check in and see, okay, has this thing had some engagement? Do I need to respond to any comments? But again, you do it on your terms. You don't need to know the second it comes in. It's crazy. So notifications off. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, I would be work with your own rhythm and your own energy levels. As in, I am not very good in the morning, so I won't do anything taxing and challenging first thing, because I won't be very good at it. If I need to do anything like that, my personal best time is a bit later in the day, sort of probably between 3 and 5, to be honest. That's when I create the best. That's when I write blog posts. That's when I write LinkedIn articles, that sort of thing. That's when I probably make more challenging phone calls, because I'm simply better that time of day. If you're more of a morning person, do it then. And don't try and force it, because everything will take you longer. And so, like, block your time out in such a way that is beneficial to your own energy levels and to your own abilities. Don't force something because you need to be a morning person. Nobody needs to be a morning person. It's not necessary. Still get stuff done.
Just leading on from block your energy levels, because I think this is really important what you've just said there, because I know for myself, my energy stays high pretty much throughout the day, but I do know that come 4 o'clock, there's certain things that I don't want to do that.
Because you had high energy all day, of course.
Yeah. So that's a really, really important tip, that is. And I mean, what when you say block time out, I mean, what would you suggest for people to do? How would they block that out in their diaries, on their phone calendar? How would you suggest they kind of block out those?
It depends how you work. I mean, I tend to plan. I mean, yes, I have my diary on my phone, because if I had my diary on paper, unfortunately, paper doesn't hit you over the head when it's time for a meeting, or when it's time to leave for a meeting or whatever. If they invent paper that did that, I would go for that paper. Because I prefer paper planners. I prefer writing things down. That's just how I like doing things. When I plan my day, I will look in my diary, go have a paper thing. Okay, I've got a meeting then. I've got a meeting then. In between, what have I got time for, and when is best for me to do what. So I'll do the easy stuff first, more difficult stuff later, because that's me. You would probably do sort of spread it out throughout the day, leaving off the last little bit, of course, because that's when you get exhausted. So block it out. When you write your to-do list, write it almost in the order of the where you want to achieve it. And if you have blocked some time to really focus on something important, literally block it out in your diary, so that you don't suddenly get a meeting booked in, or you don't fritter the time away with stuff that's maybe not as important, but you get a reminder saying, okay, it's time to do X, do the thing, because otherwise people say, but so the things move around and other things are more important. Well, then it maybe wasn't that important in the first place. If you think something's important, have the self-discipline to say, okay, well, I've got to keep that time available. I've got to do it at that time, because we're all adults, and stop the excuses on that front. So that's number 2, sort of use the energy levels. Number 3, what would that be? That would possibly be take breaks, because especially when you're running your own business, you end up sitting down in the morning, head down, and probably by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you come up for air and go, oh my God.
Where's the day gone?
Where's the day gone? B, I am totally exhausted. I didn't take time for lunch. I never even went to the little room. It's just and your brain is fried. And if you do that a lot, you burn out. And that's not worth it. Most of us go into business to have more time for ourselves, to be to do the things we want to do, and to, yes, of course, to run the business completely and to make a success of it, absolutely. But if you don't take the breaks, then you'll just fry your brain. And with breaks, that's like 5 minutes every hour. Just get up. If you need to set a timer for that, do it. 5 minutes to just, I don't know, look out the window, make a cup of tea, whatever your poison. Walk around a little bit, just get away from the screen for a little bit. Get away from the phone, just be just 5 minutes, and then get back to it. And then you'll have much more energy that next hour and that next hour. If you take those little breaks, take a decent lunch break in the middle of the day, whenever that is, whatever your timings are. Take a proper evening off, not just the night to sleep. You sort of wind down. I don't know whether you watch telly or speak to your partner or play games with the kids or go out with friends. Just do something that's not work. And then go to bed. So your brain has had time to go. Absolutely. And take a proper weekend. Don't work every weekend. Every now and again we need to, because some things, like a big client things come up, and every now and again we need to work an evening or a weekend, but it shouldn't be every evening and every weekend. Those 90-hour weeks that people are sort of proud of, I can't help those people. because if that's how you want to work, good luck to you.
Yeah.
It's not going to do your mind much good. So take your breaks. That's number 3.
Natasha has just said, I'm guilty of doing all those things. I work all the time. I have told her about this.
Natasha, take your breaks.
Natasha, you heard it here first. Take those breaks. No, you've heard it here the second time or the third time now, because I've said it to you as well. That's fantastic, Izzy. So, guys, if you're watching, turn those notifications off. Work with your rhythm. Block out the time that you're going to get those big bits of work done, or that work done, and take breaks. Definitely take breaks, because you becoming ill because you've done a 90-hour week for 4 weeks on the chart, well, that's not helping anybody, because if you've got to take time off, that's going to be much longer than than anything that you're going to want to. So take those breaks.
If you have a proper breakdown, that's months out. Months.
So
nobody wants that.
Your health is your wealth. So a lot of what Izzy has said is around your health. It's around protecting your energy. It's around protecting your mental state and your mental health. So great advice. Izzy, obviously, when we finish, if you could go back to this video and drop all of your links in the comments so people can come and find you. They want to find out more about you. But is there anything that the people watching can do to help you right now?
Do all those things, you'll be happier. For starters, and tell everybody how awesome how awesome it feels to actually get stuff done and not be exhausted. Yay, we like that. How can people help me? Yes, if you know somebody who needs either this kind of help or any kind of help around time management, and they're working really hard and never getting anything done, never seem to be making any progress, any traction, because they do end up just not getting the stuff done that they need to get done. You can send them my way, connect with me in any shape or form, or send me their details, as long as they expect my call. I mean, I don't call people. I just don't do that.
You don't need to.
No.
You don't need to. The thing is, I'll be honest with you.
And I also have an online course if people want to do that, which I'll put in the.
I'll put that in the link as well.
Do the linky thing.
I would say that 75% of people could do with your help. That's a low estimate. Because I'm yet to meet. I'm trying to think of all the people I know who are super efficient, and I know a few, but I know a lot more who ain't.
Oh, absolutely! There are people who've got it self-stats, and that's awesome, brilliant. Yeah,
and what's really funny is I know some really successful business people who are completely disorganized, but they make loads of money. Imagine what they'd be like if they were organized. Be like, you'd be dangerous. Fantastic, Izzy, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was pretty last minute for you as well. I feel that anyone who's watching this will have got a lot from it. And if you do want to reach out to Izzy, she's going to drop all of the links in the comments. If you've got any questions for her, feel free to reach out. So join me next week. There's one more Business Owner interview with Katie King, and that's it for the year. Please join if you can. And then obviously we're going to kick off again next year. But Izzy, I will see you on the other side. We'll have a little debrief. And people, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking part. And please feel free to reach out to Izzy if you do need some help with your productivity. And I will be expecting quite a few of you to get in touch with me, because I know quite a few of you do need that help. You see, I know what's going on. So guys, have a fantastic rest of the week. Izzy, I'll see you on the other side. And guys, have a brilliant week and a fantastic weekend. And I shall see you all next week.